The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Raider Nation, first off, thank you guys for the support in the last video. It was incredible. You know, me and Rashawn are really busy, but we devote time to this because it's our passion. We love the Raiders and we love talking about it. And for you guys to go and, show that video some love, I think we're at 6.7 thousand views, which is, incredible. So we really appreciate the support, and, it inspires us to keep working hard and keep pushing content out there. So, keep it up, keep subscribing, keep liking. But yeah, I just wanted to start with that. That was really big for us, and we thank all the listeners out there. So starting with that. But yeah, not much is really going on right now in the Raiders world. Free agency's kind of slowed a little bit after our first initial wave. Hopefully we're gonna sign some more depth pieces, in the cornerback room and our offensive line. But yeah, other than that, we're gonna get into the draft a little bit. I mean, I think that's creeping up. It's starting to become, more of a topic. And the reason why is because the Minnesota Vikings are making some moves. They just traded up with the Houston Texans, acquiring the number 23 overall pick, which signals that they're going to trade up for a quarterback. They're at 11 currently right now, and now they have more ammo. They're at 23. So I think they're targeting JJ McCarthy, based on the system that they like to run with Kevin O'Connell. Obviously, he's from that Shanahan McVay sort of tree. And, that system relies on over the middle passes. You look at Brock Purdy, what he did in the Super Bowl, a lot of it is over the middle strikes to Brandon Ayuk. And, same thing with the Rams, over the middle to Cooper Kupp. That's their offense. And I think, the Vikings want to do the same thing with Justin Jefferson, over the middle shots. And you need a guy who can do that. And JJ McCarthy, what he did at Michigan, I was talking a lot with my friends. JJ McCarthy doesn't seem like, the typical first round quarterback who can go toe to toe with these stars. But what he did at Michigan, I'm starting to come around on JJ McCarthy because, he was the closest to a pro style offense at Michigan. He did everything that, a system like Kevin O'Connell would ask him to do at Michigan. So, that over the middle throw, he's got a big arm. Obviously, he's not the biggest in stature, but his arm is pretty big. He can make all those throws. And so over the middle, I think JJ McCarthy fits that offense. He can hit that over the middle shot, which not everyone can. And I think that's the reason that the Minnesota Vikings are targeting him. I think they're going to trade up at number 5 with the Chargers. That's the kind of spot I see him going, right in front of the Giants. So McCarthy off the board, that leaves the Raiders with 2 quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Michael Penix, who, it's interesting. I think those two are the most polarizing quarterbacks in the draft outside of JJ McCarthy, right? Because you're going to have Caleb go 1. I'm projecting Jayden Daniels to go 2 and Drake Maye at 3 to the Patriots. So those guys are going to be off the board no matter what. I think JJ McCarthy's going to be off the board to the Vikings now. It seems like they really want him. And, it's between 2 guys now, Bo Nix and Michael Penix, because we're not going to go into the season with Gardner Minshew as our quarterback. I know that. Maybe he'll start day 1, but he's not going to be the sole quarterback that we're going to be relying on this season. We're going to have a rookie, and it's going to be up to those 2 guys. And, I was watching a little bit of tape. I really think that Bo Nix, people are going to comp him to Herbert because of the Oregon connection, but I don't think he's as good as Herbert. I think what he did at Oregon was, it was a simplified system in that it was all pre-snap reads. So he would see a pre-snap read, and he would immediately know where he wanted to go with that football. It wasn't, you know, diagnosing stuff during the play. It was all pre-snap. And the system that he was in, Dan Lanning's system, very easy on quarterbacks. And I don't think that translates well to the NFL. I don't think Bo Nix is going to be a first round pick. I think he's a second or third round guy. So I would avoid him in the first round. I think Sean Payton is going to want him because Sean Payton wants a guy who can execute his system. That's what he didn't want with Russell Wilson. Wilson was a scramble guy, off script type of player. That's not what Bo Nix is. He's very on script, you know, quick release, Derek Carr 2017 is what Bo Nix is. And I think that fits Sean Payton's system. I think Sean Payton is going to try to get Bo Nix because he doesn't have anyone on his roster other than Jarrett Stidham. So I think Bo Nix is probably going to be a Bronco. I think he fits that. And by process of elimination, that leaves us with Michael Penix, who I really like coming out of Washington, uh, because watching him down the stretch of that season in the obviously the Pac-12 championship and then against Texas, he looked amazing. He was making every single throw, all these different arm angles, hitting guys in stride. He has the most arm talent in the league. He throws the best ball in the league. The ball comes out with tight spiral every single time, velocity, throw down the field. He made every throw in the book. And we saw it at the combine too. He really performed at the combine. He didn't miss many throws. So he's got the arm talent. I'm not worried about that with Michael Penix. What I am worried about is two things. One, he's not mobile. We saw in that Michigan game, he couldn't escape the pocket. Um, he's just not a mobile quarterback. And, it is what it is. In the modern NFL, you want a guy who can move. That's just the way the game is now. And to have a guy that you're going to invest maybe a first or second round pick in, ideally you want them to be able to move around a little bit. And I don't think Michael Penix is that guy. And second, he does get banged up in pretty easily. And obviously he had his injury history at Indiana. I think he tore his ACL twice, which isn't ideal, of course. But that's not even the extent to what I'm saying. I think he gets banged up pretty easily. And we saw the best team he's going to play in college is Michigan, Jim Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines. And in that national championship game, when he would get hit, you weren't sure if he was going to get up. It seemed that he would get completely banged up, rattled. You didn't even know if he was going to exit the game. And it's just not going to be pretty with Michael Penix if he gets injured. And from all the evidence we have now, it seems like he's going to get injured in the NFL because that's what he was in college. So it's not like a guy who's very injury prone in college is going to get to the NFL and magically become this durable, solid quarterback. That's not how the game works. If you're injured in college, you're going to stay injured in the NFL, if not even get more injured. So, like, honestly, my comp for him is Tua Tagovailoa, and not even just because he's lefty. Obviously, that helps, but he's not a mobile quarterback, and he gets banged up easily. He has all the arm talent, just like Tua does. But, those two things are Tua's downfall, and that's why I don't think the Dolphins should pay Tua because of those two factors. And that's why I don't think Tua can play in those big games against Mahomes and Josh Allen. He's consistently lost those games. Last season he played against Josh Allen the last week of the season for the division, and he played against Mahomes in the wild card. And really bad performances in both those games because of those two reasons. He gets banged up and he can't move. And you need those two things. You need durability and you need to be able to move. That's what Mahomes, that's what Josh Allen, that's what these guys do, Herbert. And I don't think Penix is that guy. So I wouldn't invest a first round pick in Michael Penix. Now, what I will say is his ceiling is high because he has all the arm talent, like I mentioned. And if he can stay healthy, his ceiling is up there. So I would be comfortable drafting him in the second round, maybe not the first round, but he has the ceiling. Bo Nix, he's more of a high floor guy, low ceiling, whereas Penix is a low floor, high ceiling guy. That's my evaluation on those two quarterbacks who, it looks like the only quarterbacks who the Raiders are going to be able to target in the NFL draft who are, worthy of that first or second round pick. And I think Michael Penix is going to be the guy because I think he just fits our culture the best too. Bo Nix doesn't seem like a Raider. He seems like a Bronco, whereas Michael Penix, he seems like a Raider. So I hope we end up with him. I hope we end up with him in the second round, where so we can draft a corner, we can draft an lineman in the first, and somehow, trade up early second round and get Michael Penix. I think that's the best option right now for this team. So we're gonna see what happens, Raider Nation. Thanks again for the support. Means a lot. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. It helps us grow as a channel. We appreciate all of it. We read every single comment, and thanks, Raider Nation. It was amazing engagement in the last video, and hopefully we keep that up. But yeah, we're gonna see. Hopefully, there's more news coming out. Free agency's been sleepy the last few days, so hopefully we get some more news. But yeah, Raider Nation signing off.